It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Niccolò Machiavelli. The man who penned these words, Niccolò Machiavelli, may not have lived to see his name become synonymous with cunning and power, but his ideas have shaped the world for centuries. Whether he was a ruthless pragmatist or a misunderstood realist, one thing is certain: his philosophy, rooted in the raw dynamics of power. Welcome to the Philosophy of Power, an exploration of Machiavellianism, the treacherous currents of human ambition, control, and influence. The origins of Machiavellianism are tied to Niccolò Machiavelli, a Florentine diplomat and philosopher who lived during the Italian Renaissance. His masterpiece, The Prince, is a manual for rulers, a guide to seizing and maintaining power in the world. While some call it cynical, others see it as brutally honest, a mirror held up to the realities of human nature. Unlike other philosophies that chase ideals like harmony or transcendence, Machiavellianism is grounded in the here and now. It is about understanding power. At its core, it asks a simple question: what does it take to thrive in a world where trust is scarce and ambition is endless? So what is Machiavellianism? It is not about being evil or manipulative for the sake of it, though pop culture often paints it that way. Instead, it is a philosophy of pragmatism, a recognition that the world is a battlefield of competing interests, where the naive are trampled and the cunning prevail. Machiavelli did not invent this reality. He merely described it. The famous opening of The Prince sets the tone. Men must either be caressed or else destroyed, for they will revenge themselves for small injuries, but cannot do so for great ones. This is not a call to cruelty. It is a warning. To hold it, one must understand the delicate balance between strength and strategy, fear and loyalty, action and restraint. So how does one embody the philosophy of power? But it provides principles that can be applied in politics, business, or even personal relationships. Let us explore a few key ideas that define this philosophy. But a kind of skillful cunning, the ability to adapt to circumstances with precision and foresight. A Machiavellian leader is like a master chess player, always thinking 3 moves ahead. They know when to strike, when to wait, and when to feign weakness to lure their opponent into a trap. Consider the story of Cesare Borgia, one of Machiavelli's favorite examples. Borgia, a cunning Italian warlord, once appointed a ruthless governor to bring order to a rebellious province. When the governor's harsh methods succeeded but sparked resentment, Borgia publicly executed him, earning the people's gratitude while deflecting blame. It was a masterstroke of ruthless yet calculated, blending fear with goodwill. This story illustrates a core Machiavellian principle: appearance matters as much as reality. A ruler must be seen as strong, just, and benevolent, even if their actions are driven by cold calculation. As Machiavelli writes, men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but few can feel. In other words, perception is power. A leader who masters the art of optics can sway the masses while concealing their true intentions. Another cornerstone of Machiavellianism is the balance between fear and love. Machiavelli famously argued that being feared is safer than being loved, because fear is more reliable. Love can fade, but fear endures. Yet, he cautioned against being hated. Hatred breeds rebellion, while fear can foster respect. This idea challenges our modern obsession with popularity. We are told to be likable, to win hearts and minds. But Machiavelli would argue that likability is fleeting. A leader who relies solely on affection risks losing control when the tide turns. Instead, the Machiavellian seeks a calculated balance, inspire loyalty when possible, but never shy away from instilling fear when necessary. Take the example of a modern CEO navigating a corporate crisis. A Machiavellian leader might make tough, unpopular decisions, layoffs, restructuring, or bold pivots, but they will frame these moves as necessary for the greater good, ensuring they are seen as decisive rather than cruel. They do not shy away from hard choices. They embrace them, knowing that power demands sacrifice. Machiavellianism also emphasizes the power of adaptability. The world is unpredictable, and fortuna, as Machiavelli called it, is like a river that can sweep away the unprepared. A true Machiavellian does not fight the current. They navigate it, They bend when others break, shift when others stagnate. This adaptability is evident in Machiavelli's advice to rulers: be both a lion and a fox. The lion uses brute strength to intimidate, but the fox relies on cunning to outwit. A leader who can embody both, fierce when needed, sly when required, can weather any storm. Think of a politician in a heated campaign. They might project strength in public debates, roaring like a lion to rally their base. But behind closed doors, they negotiate, manipulate, and strategize like a fox, forging alliances and outmaneuvering rivals. This duality is the essence of Machiavellian power. Now, let us address the elephant in the room, the stigma of Machiavellianism. The term is often synonymous with deceit, betrayal, and immorality, but is that fair? Machiavelli was not advocating for cruelty or betrayal for its own sake. He was describing the world as he saw it, a place where ideals often crumble under the weight of reality. In fact, there is a strange humility in Machiavellianism, and works within those constraints rather than pretending they do not exist. Unlike philosophies that urge us to transcend our nature, Machiavellianism embraces it, teaching us to wield power with clear eyes and steady hands. As Machiavelli writes, "To thrive, one must understand the rules of the game and play them better than anyone else." So what can we take from Machiavellianism today? In a world of cutthroat competition, political maneuvering, and social dynamics, the philosophy of power offers timeless lessons. It teaches us to be strategic, to cultivate influence, and to navigate the complexities of human nature. Whether you are leading a team, negotiating a deal, or simply trying to get ahead, Machiavellian principles remind us that power is not given. It is taken, shaped, and guarded with skill. But there is a warning here too. Power, like a double-edged sword, can cut both ways. Wield it carelessly, and you risk becoming the villain of your own story. Wield it wisely, and you can shape the world to your vision. The philosophy of power is not about becoming a tyrant. It is about understanding the currents of influence that surround us and learning to steer them with precision. It is about knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to let the world think it is in control while you hold the reins. Thank you for watching.